Okay, so I did finding the absolute extreme values of a function, and the problem that I chose was f of x equals 5x to the third minus 6x to the one half, and the coordinates that I found to find my absolute minimums and maximums, if there are any, is 3, 2. And so the first thing you have to do is find the derivative, and if you don't remember how to do that, I can kind of go through that. It's f prime of x equals the exponent multiplied by the coefficient, so 15, and then you still have an x left over, and then you subtract 1 from the exponent, so x to the second, and then do the same thing for the second one, which would be negative 3x to the negative 1/2. And then after that, you just simplify. Since you can't have a negative exponent on the top, I will move it down to the bottom. F prime of x equals 15x squared minus 3, and then x to the 1/2 would be positive if I move it to the bottom, and that's the same thing as the square root of x. Now here you are going to butterfly, since you have a fraction right here. I'm going to put that over 1. I'm just going to leave a little note right here. Butterfly. And so once you butterfly, you'll get 15x squared times by x to the 1/2 over the square root of x, and then you put your minus 3 right here. Sorry, I forgot about that. And after here, you set this equal to 0. So you do 15x to the 5/2 minus 3 equals 0. And here you would just simplify, plus 3, so it would be 15x to the 5/2 equals 3. Divide by 15, x to the 5/2 equals 1/5. And then you would multiply by the reciprocal, so it would be 2 over 5, 2/5. X equals decimal 0.08. I just plugged that into the calculator real quick, and this is the same thing as 2 over 25. Now here, after that, you would do the square root of x, set that equal to 0. 0. Multiply this by 1/2, because it's the same thing as the square root, which is that, and x still equals 0. So after this, you would do the derivative sign chart to find your minimum and maximums, or in our case, x equals 0, so that'd be an undefined one where you'll have a vertical asymptote. So I'm going to do the derivative sign chart. X, f prime of x, and you just set it up. X is less than 0, 0, 0 is less than x, which is less than 2 over 25, 2 over 25, and x is greater than 2 over 25. So here I'm just going to plug in some numbers, something that's less than 0, keep it simple, stupid. I plugged in -1, which gave me a positive. This is undefined since it's on the bottom. Undefined. And then I plugged in a 1/5 because it has to be, 1 over 15 because it has to be something in between 0 and 2/25. And that gave me a negative number. Right here it'd be 0, but not a vertical asymptote because it's 2 over 25 and not 0. And then here I plugged in a 1, which gave me a positive. So it'd be an incline, decline, incline. This is a vertical asymptote, and this is a minimum because it's going down, and then that one's going back up. So here, after that, you will look at the points, and so you see this one, and you just plug that back into the original equation. So 0 times x, x plugged in for x, so 0 to the third is still 0, times 5 is 0, x to the 1/2 is 0, times -6 is 0, so that's just 0. And then you would plug in 2 over 25, and I just plugged that into the calculator to give me a decimal. It's -1.69. And then for my second one, you plugged in these top numbers that we had to find the EPs, which is just the extreme points. So I would plug in a 3, and I got 34.61, and then I plugged in 2, and I got 31.51, And then so here you look to see if there's any absolute minimums or absolute maximums. I see that this is a negative, which means it's very low, and this would be your absolute minimum. And then this is your absolute maximum because it's like a really high point. So this is absolute maximum. And then these are my EPs at EP. I ran out of space, so I didn't put it over there, but these are my EPs at these points because these are the coordinates that they gave me at the top to find my extreme value points. And so what I did as an overview, I just plugged these back into the original equation to find my coordinates, and I found that this is my absolute minimum at 225 and negative 1.69, and my absolute maximum at 3, 34.61. And that's how you find your extreme value points. Thank you.